What's up, guys? So Blizzard just announced Phase 3 of Season of Discovery, and we got a bunch of information. We got some data mining, some stuff. We're going to take a look at it and come up with some ideas about what we're going to do for gold making and what we can do right now. So, yeah, let's just jump into it. Now, overall, we're getting sort of a similar type of phase as the last one. We're getting new runes, 6 new ones, new puzzles, quests. There's probably going to be stuff to turn in, some items that are going to be needed. I would guess that's going to be hot, obviously, for gold making. We got a new PvE event, which is, as far as I know, there's not anything BOE about this event, but we'll have to see if there's any gold making opportunities related to it. There's going to be some new PvP rewards, including the Blood Moon, which is sort of like whatever. We're getting a raid, which is a 20-player dungeon, and it's now on a weekly lockout, which is kind of nice in one way. So that's going to be interesting. At least we're also getting new loot in Blackrock Depths, Maraudon, and Sulfurak, and that's what they had in the post. Now they had some more information in the video, and well, Wowhead is hard at work data mining, so we do have some stuff we know already. So we know, for instance, that there are a bunch of new raid consumables. I think these ones drop in the raid and are by non pickups. They're sort of like not so interesting from a gold making perspective. We have new whale aid supplies. And here's a list of all of the items. Now, obviously, pretty much every time we've seen this, there have been like some items on this list that we don't actually end up turning in. But we can see here, we can make up our minds about certain items that are going to be in demand based on this. Tender wolf steaks, these can already be crafted. Heavy mage weave bandages, these can't be crafted, but mage weave obviously exists, but that's probably going to be way cheaper once we get into the next phase. And then there are a bunch of crafts here, and you should make sure you get these recipes as soon as possible. Any of these that are tradable on the auction house are already going to be very expensive. How much they're worth, it's hard to say. We don't know what sort of rewards we're going to get for reaching Exalted with the Duratar supply guys, but after they buffed the golden experience for turning these in, everyone who's leveling is going to want to turn these in most likely. I'm expecting we're going to get a good chunk of gold. We might even get like 15 gold per turn in, 20 gold per turn in, if it's actually going to scale compared to the last ones. So these items, definitely something you should get into and start crafting. And it is official that we are getting level 300 professions, no cap. We're getting all the way to max. You can craft anything, any recipe you can get at level 50, you can craft. So any recipe you can obtain at 50 is going to be craftable. So it's also pretty nice. Means there's some very juicy consumables that we are going to be able to craft and use in the next phase. That's pretty cool. Now, obviously, we're also getting some new profession items. So far, they have data mined some new buy and pick up epic gear, very similar to the type of gear we've had in all of the leveling dungeons. Now, as far as I can tell, these do not require any sort of intermediate materials this time around. You have a nightmare seed. I'm going to guess this drops from the raid, and a BOP item, inert mantle of nightmares. So this is probably similar to the items we used in the first phase, like the Void Touched Sliver. So you're going to get this from a quest line or something like that. And there's also like this Void Powered Vam Braces for these. I guess this is potentially a new craft. We don't really have information about this yet. We just know that it's an item. Presumably this is going to be crafted as well. And then we'll see for the other professions. Obviously, I think some information is missing. And this first data mining, this is definitely some placeholder information here, as, for instance, the blacksmithing stuff just has the new material costs. So it is possible that we still get something similar to the market where you're doing the shuffle for the bind and pickup materials needed for the crafts, epic crafts in Normergon. That could happen. As of right now, it doesn't look to me like that's going to be the thing, because some of these have finished material lists and they don't have anything like that. We can also get profession specializations. If you look at what they said about professions, there's going to be more new recipes than what Wowhead has data mined so far. But we are going to get specializations, and they're going to get more stuff than what they originally had. So we're going to have more new recipes. Might be able to get even higher proc rates with like the potion or the elixir specialization for alchemy. We'll just have to see what that brings, but that's obviously, if you do that the right way, you're going to be able to get an edge in the markets for sure. You're going to be able to get an edge. So that's sort of what we're getting. Now, as for what you should do right now, I mean, if I go on the auction house right now, probably a lot of materials have already spiked in price, as well as recipes. But the main thing you want to prepare is have crafters ready, so you can have all professions at max. That's generally preferable if you can. Like I probably won't, because I would need to level this one to 37 and my druid to 37. So I'll probably just have 2 characters ready to craft everything they can. But that's life. You want to have 3 level 40s if you can, and then you also want to have materials ready to go. I expect that we get a big spike like today when the news breaks, and then prices are probably going to stabilize a bit lower than that for most of the materials needed to level your professions. But we'll just have to see. That's sort of the general trend. Like everyone's buying, empties out the auction house, and then we realize that, okay, people aren't actually going to spend that many mithril bars on leveling their blacksmithing or whatever yet. But we can check the auction house and we can see that mithril bars still fairly healthy supply. At least the price isn't that high yet, but the supply is a little bit yikes. There's not that many available. So buying some materials is definitely something you should look into. For guides for that, there's wowprofessions.com has all of the leveling guides. Obviously, a lot of the suggested recipes every time, they're not always the cheapest one, so I would strongly suggest just leveling for a while, and then you've unlocked all the recipes you have that are orange in your window, and then you just look through them with Trade Skill Master, because then you can hover over and you just see, okay, this has 2 gold crafting costs. Yeah, okay, we're going to do that. We're not going to do the bags or whatever is actually suggested, because we see that something else has a much lower crafting cost, or maybe there's a yellow recipe with a even lower one. Then you want to take advantage of that. So yeah, I mean, it's looking interesting. I'm very excited to see what we get. This is with the new specializations, new recipes, new quests. Once again, the top gold makers probably not going to be something that we're used to. It's going to be related to the new items in some way, at least if they are related to giving you any sort of player power. It's going to be exciting to see. So I hope you're ready for phase 3.